put some fucking pants on and go outside and do some shit.
Nothing to do.
There's nothing to do.
Girl, there is nothing to do.
The Sandhills wants to know what time it is. It's time to get ready for the unlimited social scoop. Introducing Nuthin To Do, the Sandhills Social Scene Podcast, straight from the Share Studios with your host, Dominique.
Welcome to the Nuthin To Do Podcast, episode 23. Is this our Michael Jordan episode, Brian? Yep. He just keeps shooting J's behind the camera so you guys can't see. But look, it's episode 23, and I'm so excited to be here at the Share Studios with producer Brian, as I will talk to a lot. I mean, I'm probably talking to a lot of you Brians that are on the other side of the screen, this vortex that we have going on, but mainly I'm talking about the Brian Livingston who puts it all together for me. Thanks, Brian. Forrest Gump wave. Also, brought to you by Cumulus Media Group. That's Rock 103, 640 AM News Talk, Q98, and Magic 106.9. So make sure to tune in. There's giveaways and contests and all types of content for you guys, and some banging music. Whole variety we have there at Cumulus. So as we were getting ready for today's episode, I was trying to think of a recap of last week. And I asked Brian, what did I do this weekend? Brian, what did you say? Everything. He don't want to talk to me. I don't know why he don't want to talk to me, but he said everything. And so let's go ahead and do a recap. When we start the weekend on Thursday, that's fine. We can start the weekend on Thursday. Thursday night, I was at Segra with the Woodpeckers as we took on the Augusta Green Jackets. That was a very fun-filled, quick and easy game for me to MC. I'll tell you that much. But I don't know. It's just, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge baseball fan. I couldn't play it if you paid me millions to do it like people are getting paid right now. But something about that stadium and it being here in town is just, it's a dope experience, dope vibe. So if you haven't been out there, make sure to go. We've got 2 homestands back to back starting next week. So that's 10 games and 0 excuses. We'll see you out there for that. Thursday, I was with Q98 for Fireworks Friday, only from 5 to 7. And then I hightailed it to go see Danette eat Sister Act and leave 0 crumbs. Let me tell you, Cape Fear Regional Theater did that thing with Sister Act. And I mean, we all know the storyline, right? But I had no idea what I was going to see when it came down to it being on stage. But they executed flawlessly. There was high energy. There was a confetti miler drop. That was pretty awesome. I wish it would have been over the crowd, but I understand that's kind of messy. So for that to have been the show to close out the theater season before renovations as well, kudos, Cape Fear Regional Theater. You guys did that. So proud of you. Saturday, I left town. I'm sorry, but I had a chance to go to Old Hillside Bourbon Company's 4th anniversary. It's a Black-owned, veteran-owned bourbon company right up the road in Durham. And while I was there, I got to meet none other than Orlando Jones, Dr. Lee himself from Drumline, in case you need references. And when I tell you, he's just cool and laid back. I always thought that most actors and actresses kind of were like, spazzy. And so I always go in with that mindset. But that man was, what did Big Boy say? Cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Sportielli Doplicious. Come on, Brian. You making that face. I'm really sad. Cooler than the other side of the pillow. Is that better? Sports talk? Okay, yeah. You can see that one. He's cool, laid back, and he has been doing some things for that area and being a brand ambassador to a multi-million-dollar Black-owned bourbon company that is named after one of the historic Black schools in Durham is one of those million of things that he's doing and doing big things in that area. It was dope. Like the view, I got to look over the Durham Bulls Park in all of Durham. We were on the 11th floor of this building, and it was just a breath of fresh air. It was something different. Of course, my anxiety was on high, but we were all just like flappers. So we all looked amazing, and that kind of helps with anxiety. Sunday. What did I do Sunday, Brian? Was I at baseball? Yeah, I was at baseball. Sorry, guys. It's just a lot going on. We were at baseball, and it was Sunday Fun Day where kids get to run the bases, and we were playing the Green Jackets. We won that game 1-0, and it was a very jam-packed, fun-filled day for the promo team. We always kick off our portion. Well, you don't know. We always pick off our portion of the game by greeting you guys at the door, and then all the activities started. We had to run from there to there to there to there, and my legs hurt. My legs hurt real bad. A friend was like, "Oh, did you do leg day?" No, baby. I was jumping and running all throughout Seger Stadium, and it was cool. It was Little League night, so they had a Little League baseball parade. Shout out to the Hope Mills Dodgers. And you don't have to worry about finding that logo, Brian. Shout out to them, because we had 3 moms, and they were named Jen, Jennifer, do the Village Family Dental trike race. And when I say, those girls are really competitive, no wonder their kids are in competitive sports, but they were really, really excellent sports. And, we just laughed it off and just had a grand old time. Whenever I see someone who's within like the 7-year range of my birthday or birth date age on either side, I'm just like, ooh, that's a lot of physical activity. I'm already winded, but they were ready to go, and everybody was just great. So this weekend is going to be the calm before the storm. We've got Pet Fest with Cumulus Broadcasting going on June 15th at Hope Mills Rec. And that would be brought to you by Valley Auto World. But the biggest part of that is Twiggy the water skiing squirrel is back, guys. And at first, like when you're planning things, you're like, whatever. But after you watch like 10 videos back to back, it's kind of cute. I will still not pick up a pet and hold them in my hands. I just never had pets before, but I can high five Twiggy from afar as Twiggy is on their little water skis jetting across the pool. So if you guys get a chance to come on out, please come on out. It's a free event. It's fun for all family, 4 legs. And we always exclude those with no legs, because snakes don't have legs either. But I'm also gonna have to see them from afar. And then after that, I'll be downtown Fayetteville for the City of Fayetteville's Juneteenth Jubilee that starts at 1. It ends around 9, brought to you by Cool Spring Downtown District. So this is all on June 15th. There's also other Juneteenths that are going to be going on. So I'm actually going to try to kick back and relax this week, but not really. It's me. If y'all didn't see the video of how, Brian, did you see when I got stuck in the race car? I always find myself in sticky, tight situations. So yeah, I'll probably find something to get myself into this week. But right now, we're just going to relax, kick our feet up, and enjoy the finest things like us Southerners do in the summertime. And that's sweet tea. That's right. I've got the guys from Sweet Tea Shakespeare that are going to be coming on this next segment and telling you how great that is. Because even though, look, there's theater year round. I learned a word last week that I forgot. Brian's eyebrows just went up about people who do theater in the summertime. And I'm just going to say Sweet Tea is just going to give you that entertainment. And it's a joy to go to one of their plays. So we'll talk about that when they come here. It's time for me to kick my feet up and relax. Again, episode 23 of the Nuthin To Do Podcast. We'll see you in a couple seconds. Bye. All right, guys, as promised, in the opening of episode 23 of the Nuthin To Do podcast. We're going to kick our feet up and learn a little bit more about the finer things in life, which is sweet tea, mixed with another fine thing, which is Shakespeare. So I am sitting here with 3 members of Sweet Tea Shakespeare: Judd, Traycie, with all of the ways you can end the word Traycie, and Mike. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey,
Hello.
So you guys are gearing up for what show is coming up?
Little Women. Little Women, a classic.
big one.
Big one.
And it's going to be running this weekend and next weekend, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, vocal one. We're going to start with you, Traycie. So what's your backstory? What got you into theater?
I'm gonna be honest. In college, I was like, I think I'm gonna take an acting class as an elective, and then they were like, "How did you get in here? You have no prerequisites." And I was like, "I don't know." And then that's how I met Jeremy, who is the founder of Sweet Tea, and that's how I got started. Just Fayetteville State University. I have a bachelor's in theater arts, and now I'm the artistic director. So.
Nice.
That's my brief story.
So have you been around longer, or like who's been in Sweet Tea Shakespeare the longest?
Me.
Okay. So
Aye, Captain. It's me.
also give me a little backstory of what Sweet Tea, just in case like others don't know. Now I've been, and I will say that there was this brownie that I had at the last show. It was just delicious. So if you have really good snacks, you have my attention.
Yeah. Yeah, the brownies are really good.
Solid.
They had a blondie at one of them, and I was like, period. Blondies too.
Blondies. Oh my god.
Sweet Tea Shakespeare is a nonprofit theater organization and company where we call ourselves an acting training ground or a theater training ground, where we teach people how to be in plays, and sometimes it's Shakespeare, sometimes it's Shakespeare adjacent, like a classic, or Jane Austen. We do a lot of them. Little Women obviously is not Shakespeare, but it's a classic novel. Sometimes we'll do musicals too, like we've done Sweeney Todd and Into the Woods, stuff like that. But really we're just people who like putting on plays, and we happen to do Shakespeare a lot.
So Mike, what got you into where you are right now at Sweet Tea?
Well, I did theater in high school.
Okay. What high school?
Southview.
Okay.
Southview High School, way back when.
When?
Full circle.
I had I was in Les Mis.
Okay.
Just a bunch of minor roles, but it was fun.
Even if you're tree number 2, you're gonna be the best
Yeah.
damn tree number 2.
And I really liked it, but I didn't pursue it afterwards. I also I played an orchestra and learned bass guitar, and then many years later, I'm from Fayetteville, and I've always known about Sweet Tea, but just never made it out to a show. And just last year, I just really felt like I wanted to get involved somehow. And I put in an application with Sweet Tea, and I never auditioned because I chickened out. And I ended up getting a call or a text from Jeremy, and like they still needed a role for Merry Wives of Windsor to be filled, and I was like, yeah, I'm still interested. And so he gave me a like some lines to read, and I sent in a video audition essentially, and I ended up getting the role. It was really great time, made a lot of new friends. This is now the 3rd production that I'm in, and in the last 3 productions, I've also been playing bass guitar with the band, which has been really, really, really fun as well.
So do you prefer more of the musical end or the acting end, or is it
Honestly, both.
Is it a nice evenly PB&J sandwich?
It's nice because like I'm not a great singer, but I feel like I'm learning and growing in my ability to play bass guitar and acting, and it's like what Traycie was saying, it's like it is like an acting training ground, and it's like getting to learn a lot of new things and get that experience and grow like confidently in yourself and your abilities.
So my diva.
Best for last, right?
Yes.
Right. So hi, I started off with theater by doing a 3rd degree talent show, and that was the eye-opening experience, performing a High School Musical 2 song and doing a little choreography with doing those. I was really scared.
You should have led with that.
I should have. And it was You're the Music in Me. you know, and I performed it with my sister on stage, and it was very touching. But the audience, the applause, and I was tone deaf, you know. It was a travesty. That choreography was not it, but the applause alone was like, that felt really nice, and I knew that I wanted to do that for a long time. And I in middle school found my way to Samson Community Theater in Clinton, and did a bunch of shows there, and that was like, okay, we're on this trajectory. This is what I'm really want to do. And so I've been doing it ever since then. And I started with Sweet Tea in, was it 2019 or 2020? I want to say it was 2020. Like, I feel like the audition was 2019.
It started in 2019, but the production wasn't really getting started until 2020.
Which, you know
how that year went.
The really interesting start to my time with Sweet Tea Shakespeare. But it was really nice because it was Midsummer Night's Dream, and we did that as a Zoom call or Zoom. We ended up being a Zoom podcast version of the show with the original cast. Traycie was Helen and I was Demetrius, so it was fun playing opposite right off the gate. And then we redid it when we started getting vaccinated and stuff and going back out in the world. And so doing that again was super fun and was kind of like, okay, so this is what Sweet Tea Shakespeare is like with the pre-show. They have live music. They have drinks, the concessions that they have. It's like, it's fantastic. Chair Paravel, all the fun things that Sweet Tea offers is a very immersive experience. And I knew that I really liked the company and I liked working there. And so I've done a few shows with them in that time, and each one of them provides a new fresh experience. For this one particular, playing Lori for Little Women has been a dream of mine, and it's been like learning the character, rereading the book, and watching previous movies and stuff, finding my own discoveries. It's just been such a treat, I tell you what. But yeah, so that's Judson Clark abridged. I tell you what. All right, back it up.
So I know there's multiple acting, I guess I want to say cliques, gangs.
We're all rivals.
Yes. Around town. What makes Sweet Tea so special? Anyone can take that.
I think it's kind of what Judson said about it being really immersive. Like, we really incorporate the audience into every show that we do, and we are one of the only ones that doesn't have a home either, and so we move anywhere, and part of our identity is that we can make anywhere home, anywhere beautiful, anywhere somewhere to do a play. Like right now, Little Women takes place at the basement of the Arts Council building, and you would go down there and it's
scary. I'm not gonna lie.
But it's not scary anymore.
It's not.
I can't wait.
Into a home.
It has 2 little lights. We moved our playhouse into the basement. Ooh. And it's really beautiful, and we do that everywhere we go. We've gone to Babel Pie Company in that small little 3-tier shop. We go anywhere, the Poe House, outside, inside, anywhere. And it really is about community for us. It's like, yes, we're actors and we've rehearsed this play, but it's more so about the journey and the story that we're taking with the audience. And that is everything. We call it the baseball atmosphere, where it's like there is something for everyone. So like, oh, I hate Shakespeare, but the music is all thematic to the show. So if you like the music, like you like the show, you know what I mean? The actors are really lovely, and you get to meet them before and after and during the show. During intermission, we're singing songs and talking to you, asking you about your day. And it really is about instilling culture and accessibility to art into the community. And that is why I love Sweet Tea so much. And that's why I've stayed for so long. And that's why I'm so happy to be artistic director. And Little Women is the first show under me and Jesse's ruling. Ooh, yes. So we're like, yeah, women, yeah. And so I have a very deep love for Sweet Tea. And it starts from the people. And, you know, on our website, the slogan is love is the strongest choice. And it couldn't be more true in our acting and how we deal with people and the community.
Okay, so bass player.
Yeah.
So Traycie said that, you know, there's some music, and I mean, I know that I've been, and I can't really super be biased, but I can because it's my show. But you guys do the music to start off the show and the music in the middle. Is there like a rhyme or reason to what songs you guys pick, how you play them, like?
Well, I'm not in charge of coming up with a playlist, but I do know because of the style of how we do plays. Like we don't rely heavily on lighting and technology. So a lot of times we take those songs. I mean, not with the bass guitar, obviously, but all the other instruments. It leans more acoustic, but it adds more to that intimate vibe. So a lot of our songs are practiced that way. Converted to really fit what the vibe that we're trying to project. Yeah.
Okay.
After song selection, honestly, we look for songs that are the vibe. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just, what's the vibe of the show? What does this have to do with the story in any capacity? We'll post it on our community page, hey, anybody know any songs that they think fit Little Women? What songs remind you of Little Women? And we'll listen to all the song suggestions, and sometimes we'll put them in there. Sometimes we'll let a sponsor pick a song, this song, we'll put it somewhere in the season, and we'll be what show? Where can we put this? And we'll just figure out fun ways to incorporate what the community says and what our brains say. We ask the cast too, any suggestions? And
So it's basically just one running act, right? Because you guys have the music before and in the middle, and so you guys are just nonstop.
Musicians don't get a bathroom break.
No.
Well, if you're acting and playing.
If you're acting and playing.
You sir need to be calm.
But you guys in this show, because you had the first act to go to the bathroom. Come on.
I see now. I see that.
We give our people breaks. Legally, we must.
We've done some Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
We've done Taylor Swift a few times.
There's Taylor Swift in this show.
And what's really great is for a few of the shows, some of the bands, some of the music that we've done, they're local folk bands.
Oh yeah.
Mipso and Bandits on the Run.
Bandits on the Run.
Maybe vague to some people, but
but they're super
them.
nice and they're really great. And we have a Spotify list too. It's on our Facebook that people can go and listen to before the show.
Nice.
So
Plug.
if you want to know the music.
Plug. Spotify. So, talking about getting the crowd interaction, I feel like you would be a great person to talk about that. Because you demand so much attention.
No, guys, my hair is looking weird. I don't know. Don't look at me. But I play. So, can I get the one? Can I get only me?
Push in.
So,
Here. He's coming. Wait.
he's coming.
Oh,
Okay.
he's coming. It's fine. Oh, dramatic pause.
All right.
Ooh,
So,
yes, honey.
I'm talking to this camera,
That
on
one
this
right
camera
there.
only.
Only that one. That was yours, Spooky.
So it's been starting with Sweet Tea.
Countdown.
Oh, there it is.
Period.
So, starting with Sweet Tea, it was really wild getting into how Sweet Tea operates when it comes to pre-show and stuff like that. And because I was so trained in the sense of do not make eye contact with the audience, do not look at the audience, look vaguely off to into the space as you're talking. And Sweet Tea derails that. And they're you make eye contact, you have interactions, especially in pre-show, talking to them, inviting them in. It's a really intimate experience. And so during pre-show, we have little spiels in between each song, talking, teaching about what we are, what to expect. If you want to volunteer, if you're liking what you see, come and join us, kind of thing. And learning that, especially, after the COVID, like I was saying earlier, and it has really helped me get comfortable in my own voice, helps with the kind of imposter syndrome, the kind of self-doubt, the kind of, and it's really touching to see audience members feel more comfortable to come up to you and be like, hey, that was a wonderful performance. And we even have people that has seen a previous show and this is their first production, and that is super, super touching and really, really cool. And I cannot recall another company that I've done recently that has that kind of thing. It's super, super nice to get that one-on-one and to have a different approach to theater by, you know what I mean? It's really nice to have the shows that you don't look at, you look off and then come here and have that. And it's weird at first because you're so used to the other thing, but it's been really fun to have that. And of course, I work the crowd, so
we did get a note the other day. It was Traycie Judson calm down.
I can't.
But we were like,
You've opened
no,
Pandora's box.
no.
Yeah.
I remember the first show I went to, and this guy was just talking, and then I was just like, whatever. And I was, oh, he in costume. You supposed to be doing that? I didn't even know who it was. I was like, are you supposed to be
Wait a
talking?
minute.
You need water? Blink twice. Are they holding you captive?
Yeah.
But it's a great experience. Like, so basically, if you don't like fun, live music, breathing, the theaters,
Breathing is great.
basically stay away from Sweet Tea Shakespeare, right? If you're just like
Fair.
not into that, because you guys, like you said, community.
Yeah.
So where can people get their tickets?
You can go to our Facebook. There's links all over there. There's also links all over our Instagram. But if you don't want to go to any social media, you can type in sweetteashakespeare.com/tickets. Or if you don't want to type /tickets, you can just go to sweetteashakespeare.com and click the tickets tab.
Work with us, people.
Come on, there's so many ways.
So, we talked about Sweet Tea, but I want to hear more about the roles that you guys have played in your acting careers, because I know I got to work with you at Vagina Monologues.
Yes.
But I believe the first time that I actually just like locked in on you was In the Blood.
Yeah, I wasn't in the blood.
Yes. So what other like roles have you played? What other plays have you been in?
Let's see. Put in a little resume going through my brain. I'm reading it virtually. My favorites so far have been, so Shakespeare-wise, Much Ado, which I know is Juddy's over here, one of his favorites too, was Beatrice. I love Beatrice. She's very much like Jo from Little Women. I also have really been enjoying being Jo in Little Women. That's definitely top 5. Other than that, like Into the Woods, I was Baker's wife. That was really fun. I've been Rocky a couple of times. I played Columbia. She's really fun, but like she's a loose cannon. So how can you not have fun in Rocky Horror? In the Blood, although it was very sad, very draining show, was really good. Like the cast was great, and they were all very lovely to work with. So I guess those are my top 5 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, what are your favorites that you've been in?
Les Mis with the Revolution.
So my first play with Sweet Tea was Merry Wives of Windsor, and so I played
Paige.
Thank you. Not Master Ford. I played Master Page, and that play is supposed to be a comedy, and I had to. I mean, it is a comedy, but like through the production of it, I was like, Paige isn't really funny. And I learned and came to terms with that Paige is the straight man.
Sometimes
That
they're funny.
and it worked. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. His first Shakespeare play, which I guess for a lot of people, Merry Wives of Windsor is not like their first Shakespeare play.
Yeah.
It's not like yeah, it's like I've never heard of that before. Sure, that's Shakespeare that
What
wrote
is
that. And then I was just supposed to play bass for we did Blue Ridge Juliet.
Yeah.
Which if you don't
Methodist, right?
yes, and it was like a Appalachian take on the story of Romeo and Juliet, and so all the music was folk and bluegrass, and it was music throughout the entire show, which was super fun. But last minute I got asked by Jesse, it's like, hey, we need Tybalt, and I think I had like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was not very long. It was like 2 weeks.
But I, got to play Tybalt and, do the lines. It was fun because I got to kind of play, I played a character that was chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
I had a fight scene. So I got to do stage combat for the first time. So I love that one a lot. And I love the music for that one a lot. And now Little Women. I knew nothing about Little Women, and
They didn't force you to read it at Cumberland County School Systems?
no, I don't remember.
Deep sigh.
That meant possibility. That was a possibility.
Like, had I read it back then, I would not have enjoyed it.
I think the mandatory read for me was Great Gatsby over
Okay.
the summer,
Okay.
and I never did that either.
There was a movie.
But I had COVID right after Merry Wives, and so I was like I was in isolation. I had nothing to do, so I watched Little Women, and I still haven't read the book. I'm not Not as dedicated as Judson.
I'm reading it during rehearsals.
different.
And people are taking photos of me, and I'm like, guys, come on, I'm just trying to enjoy a book.
Do you think maybe it's because they're surprised that you can read?
That hasn't come to mind. I'm obviously going to the obvious question.
Okay.
Everyone wants to take a picture of me.
I mean,
You know
you
what I mean?
are
So,
very stunning.
I can't explain anymore.
Eyes popping, curls popping, like you're stunning.
That's what I'm saying. Stop it. I'm flattering. Maybe I need that one again.
Yes. So let's talk about the things that you've been involved
Yeah. So because there's been so many productions since middle school, or elementary school if you're counting talent shows, and the things we would do at church, those shows too. There's been so many, and a lot of them, like, I have the top favorites. I have to say Lori is officially one of them. I know it's recency bias, but it's been a dream for a minute. And the recent years, I've been learning to find something that I adore in every single one of them, which is like the crappy answer. Like I understudied in Cinderella CFRT, and like the dancing was so much fun, and I had such a blast being that. But for the sake of the question, I would say I played John Brooke in the Little Women musical way back when, which was super fun to do that and then come back to the script and do the play version as Lori. And I also really I played Benedict in Much Ado. That was my first Shakespeare. It wasn't with Sweet Tea, but that was my first Shakespeare and some of the most fun that I've had in a production ever, point blank. I also really, really enjoyed, oh my goodness, so dating back on the spot. I could have thought about this, but I was listening to what everyone else is saying, you know?
Why I don't like to write questions down, because I always want to catch the natural you.
Oh man, the natural me. Let me think. I played Bud Frump in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, playing the bad guy, which is the absolute most fun anyone can have. And to that note, I played a Wickersham brother in Seussical the musical, and we performed that because it's Dr. Seuss's musical, and we got to perform that for kids. All the elementary schools have the little
shows are so fun.
and kids shows are the absolute best, especially when you're a villain, because you have to meet them outside as they're walking back to their bus, right?
They're so mean to
in the
you.
middle of in noon, and they're all walking back their little single file line. They're coming by, they're shaking hands with the Cat in the Hat and Horn the Elephant. They come by the Wickersham brothers that tried to ruin the day, and they booed me right in my face. And I said, "I'm doing something right. I'm the right path."
Kids are
Nailed it.
Kids
Yeah.
are built different.
Yeah. So it was a ton of fun, but. Yeah.
So what do we have next for you guys after Little Women? Lit.
We do have the lit. So we have it's called Lit Old Women.
I like it.
And so basically, if you know nothing about Little Women in general, it follows the story of four sisters. It's a coming of age story where they're like learning to grow up and learning to live without each other and with each other, falling in love, falling out of love, trying to be selfless and good people is essentially the moral of the story. So I've taken that, I've gotten rid of all of that beautiful stuff. And this story follows Jo, and she's trying to write a novel, but she's getting roadblocked, and has plot holes in her story. And Professor Bear is like, "Girl, what are you doing? You have to submit this tonight." So then she asks the audience to help fill in all of the plot holes she has. And the story she has written is a hodgepodge of every single rom-com we could possibly think of. So like Cinderella, Romeo and Juliet, 12th Night, She's the Man, like all kinds of stuff. And then the audience is literally picking what the actors do all night, down to disguises, to games. And of course it's the lit, so we have drinking games and monologue Mad Libs, where we take a famous speech and we cut out all the important words and have you fill in the blanks. So like Pride and Prejudice and all that's all shoved in there. And
Sounds so great.
Yeah.
And when does that start?
That is the 2 weeks after Little Women closes. So I believe it opens on the 22nd of June. And it's that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the first weekend. And then I know that we close on June 29th. Okay. And we have 2 different locations for that one. So we'll be in the Arts Council basement the first week. And then the second week, we'll be at Blissful Alchemist.
Okay.
Which is not very far from Arts Council. And if you've never been,
Is it dope? I haven't been.
Go. We just did Mike was there. We did a Honey and Harmony, which was
Mm-hmm.
like this women's like music, like highlighting women, just like fun, good time. And Blissful Alchemist is a women's wellness hub.
Okay.
It has like so much stuff, and it's like the most unassuming building you would ever see. What's the old building?
It's the old
Unemployment office.
Oh, okay.
Over by the bank and the BP, like near Festival Park.
Like I look at it and I'm just
and it's like, oh, I'm scared. And it's like,
Oh, I'm
but like
scared.
you go in and it's like pinks and purples
They have
and
a giant salt
pastels.
room. Oh,
They have a
nice.
salt room. They have like acupuncture and like life coaches, lash techs, hair stylists, nail techs, and it's like, what the hell is going on? No, and they were so sweet, and we had so much fun, and we were like, no, because we should do a lit here. And it just so happened that we were doing a lit, and I was like, okay, but also like it's Little Women, so
Like,
women and
here.
women and women, women, women. So let's ask them, and they were like, oh my gosh, we would love to have you back, and so I'm very excited to go back there.
Cool. All right, and then are we done for the summer, or we can't talk about those things yet?
We're done for the summer,
Okay.
and then we have our season announcement coming up, which will be during Little Women.
Ooh.
So,
But
if
you gotta
you-
show up.
Little Women.
No, I'm not even gonna tell these guys. It's gonna be a surprise for all. But we are gonna announce our season probably this weekend or next weekend. But I'm very excited for next season. We have some very good shows coming up. Very one thing that I will say is we're bringing back Behold. Now, if you're a Sweet Tea, like if you're part of the fandom, every year we do this Christmas cantata, which is called Behold. And we didn't do it last year, and everyone was like, where's Behold? And I was like, oh, I have nothing to do with that. But we're bringing that back. So by popular demand, Behold is coming back. And Jacob French, who is one of the most talented people I know, he's music directing that. So I am very excited about that. So there's your tease for next year. We were bringing
Cool. That's
Behold
all
back.
y'all getting to.
Yeah, that's all y'all. Darn, I'm eating up the
Thought I was gonna get juice.
Anything important that we didn't cover besides your hair products? Talk to me.
Besides my hair products, well, this is after a full day. This is a little sweat residue. This is hat
Ooh.
hair that you're
I
seeing.
love hat hair.
And
Is it a mist hat hair or is it like aerosol hat hair?
what? I was so it's like flat right now, but it's like wild in the back because I had my little baseball cap while I was working.
If you haven't, just Google a picture of Christian Bale
No,
from Little Women,
don't do that.
and that's what his hair looked like.
Don't do that.
Just
It's
before American
giving.
Psycho.
It's giving.
It's giving. Thank
love
you.
it.
I appreciate it.
All right, you guys. So make sure to check out Little Women and Lit. Oh,
To
women. Yes. Summer Bangers brought to you by Sweet Tea Shakespeare. And while you're at it, while you're already on your phone watching the Nothing to Do podcast, go ahead and like their page, share all the things because it costs nothing to share. And we'll see you guys at the show. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Bye. I'll be back in a minute. Y'all, Brian think he knows me so well. I want to send a huge shout out to our local Sweet Tea troupe for coming out and putting on an amazing interview. But y'all didn't think I was really gonna let them leave without doing something, right? On this next portion of the Nothing to Do, just want to give you a little preview of what you're gonna see during Little Women. And here is Traycie and Judd.
Lori!
I've been following you, Miss March, ever since you've left your house.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have, and for good reason too. You never come out of that old attic of yours, and here the weather has been capital, as you put it. So when I saw you sneak off, I knew I had to follow.
sneak
And I found you've come here, to this place. Such a disappointment. Here I thought Joe March had a mysterious dark secret.
Will you stop being such a child? You're older than I am.
By 2.5 months. Did you have a bad time in there?
No, not very.
You got through very quickly.
Yes, thank goodness.
Why'd you go alone?
Because I didn't want anyone else to know.
What an odd girl you are. How many did you want to come out?
Only one. I mean, how many did you?
What's so funny?
Where do you think I've been?
The dentist, of course. I saw you walk in there myself.
Well, then I guess I do have a secret then, huh?
Christopher Columbus, you are a strange girl. I guess I won't walk you home after all.
Never said you could.
Very well. I have a secret too, you know.
Oh, do you?
And if I tell you mine, you must tell me yours.
Is your secret a nice one?
Oh, isn't it? All about people you know and such fun. You really ought to hear it. I've been aching to tell you for days. Come, you begin.
And you won't tell anyone else?
Not a soul.
Won't tease me in private?
I never tease.
Oh, yes, you do, but no matter. I submitted one of my stories to the editor in the newspaper office up there. He said he would give me an answer this week.
Hurrah for Miss Smarts, the celebrated American author!
Yeah, I don't think it'll come to anything, but I couldn't rest until I tried. Yeah. You know, I didn't tell anyone because I don't want them to be disappointed.
It won't fail, Joe. Why, your stories are works of Shakespeare compared to half the rubbish that is published every day.
Thank you, McDuff. And now your secret.
Well,
You better play fair or I will never believe you again.
you remember your sometime telling me back when Meg was angry at you for losing one of her good gloves?
Yes, but we both
I
that
know where it is. John Brooke has it.
He has? Why?
Well, he must have gotten it somehow at the New Year's Eve dance.
Why?
Because he must have kept it on him this whole time. Isn't it romantic?
No, it's horrid.
You don't like it?
No, it's ridiculous. And you wait until I tell Meg.
You don't have to tell
Yeah, I
anyone.
didn't promise anyone.
That was implied that you were.
Okay, I won't for the time being, but I'm disgusted and I wish you hadn't told me. Thank you, John.
Please.
That's someone coming to take my Meg away. No, thank you.
Perhaps you'll like it more when someone comes to take you away.
I'd like to see someone try.
So should I.
You know, I don't think secrets agree with me. I feel all rumpled in my mind ever since you told me.
Let me walk you home then.
I don't think I want to walk. I want to run.
Wait, Joe!
So I hope you guys enjoyed that because Traycie about to run one more back with her and Mike. So hold on. Here you go. Here's a preview.
Ah, Miss March. I was anxious to show you something, so I wait here because I know you'll come.
What is it?
I have found the Emerson that I mentioned to you yesterday. It was hiding in my room beneath all the books and papers that make such a mess, but I find it and I give it to you.
Thank you. I will return it to you as
No, it's for you to keep. You're a young writer, and this book says what is in my heart about writers.
Thank you.
Read what is written inside.
To Miss Josephine March, may all your words be as extraordinary as the career you've chosen. Bridget Fair. Yes, sir, I don't know what to say.
Then say nothing. It makes me happy to give it.
You know, I'm afraid your words shame me, Professor.
Why do you say that?
I've yet to write anything extraordinary. I'm just a scribbler and an awkward one at that.
Well, perhaps sometime you will let me see.
Stories? I'd be too embarrassed. You know so much, and
I would read them not like a teacher, but like a friend.
someday.
Good. Now you must tell me what you thought of the Goldsmith novel.
All right, guys, make sure to go out to see Little Women. Check them out on Facebook. And again, we want to thank them for coming out. We want to thank all of the arts in Fayetteville for doing artsy things and keeping us entertained. And by the time this episode drops, we will be getting ready for none other than Brian B. Live Livingston's birth weekend. So if you see my boy, buy him a shot. Tell him or do. All right. This is the Nuthin To Do Podcast, episode 23, recorded at the Share Studios with my homie, Birthday Brian, and me, Dominique. Thank you, Jimmy, for letting us stay here and have fun. Thank you, Cumulus Media Group. That's Rock 103, Q98, Magic 106.9, and News Talk 640. So until next week, here's something to do. Bye. Don't forget to tell Brian happy birthday.
Thanks for tuning in to the Nothing to Do weekly podcast, recorded at the Share Studios in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with your host, Dominique. And make sure to tune in next week because it's only going to get better.